What's up, everybody? Ben Batman here with Batman Fitness and Strength, and today I'm excited to announce that I will be starting my research review series. So this will be a video in 10 minutes or less, hopefully, fingers crossed, that I can get through an entire research article, give you the key points, the important stuff, and then kind of relate it to practical daily life. I'll go over stuff from exercise and mental health to nutrition to exercise and sleep. So the whole gamut. It's going to be awesome, and I'm excited to get going with it. And today I'm really excited because I'm going to be going over exercise and dementia. There's more stuff than just exercise in here, but I'm going to be focusing on risk factors that have to do with exercise. So I'm going to hop right into it. So this study was done by the Lancet Commission on Dementia Prevention and Care. So basically they got this report together back in 2017 and they reconvened in 2020 to assess new studies, new meta-analyses, and all that. And what they ended up doing was adding 3 modifiable risk factors. So risk factors that people can change with their daily life. And what they added was excessive alcohol consumption, traumatic brain injury, and air pollution. So not exercise related, but I just want to give you the gist of the article. So real quick, what is dementia? Probably some of you have an idea of it. If you don't have any science background, then you might not know really what it's about, which is fine. So really, dementia is a pronounced decline in cognitive function while aging that is different from mild cognitive impairment and normal aging. So there's obviously cognitive decline with aging that is normal and good and healthy. And then you have MCI, mild cognitive impairment, which is bad. Not quite dementia, but it's worse than normal aging. Okay, so kind of in general, they said, quote, by increasing education in early life and addressing hearing loss, hypertension, which is exercise related, and obesity, obviously exercise related, the incidence of dementia could be reduced by as much as 20% combined. 20%, that's pretty incredible. And in late life, stopping smoking, treating depression, increasing physical activity, bingo, increasing social contact, and managing diabetes, again, exercise related, could reduce the incidence of dementia by another 15%. So that's quite a bit, 20% and then 15%. Overall, the researchers are saying that 40% of all dementia cases could be prevented by modifying these 12 risk factors. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So about 50 million people have dementia worldwide, and it's only expected to climb, which is over the next 30 years. That's pretty sad. And it's an estimated healthcare cost of $1 trillion. 1 trillion, that's a T, trillion dollars. So, some good news. All that was kind of bad. Some good news. In high-income countries, and they gave examples of the US, France, and UK, these age-specific incidents of dementia are lower, so that's awesome. All-cause dementia is lower in people born more recently. And then they probably said that's due to educational, socioeconomic, healthcare, and lifestyle changes. So healthcare and lifestyle changes, those are 2 things that are exercise-related, fitness-related. Now, for some bad news, in these countries, rising obesity, ding, 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 America, diabetes rates, again, America, and declining physical activity might reverse trajectory. So that's pretty terrible. So we were going in the right direction, and then obesity, diabetes, and physical activity, largely of which are preventable, and exercise is a huge part to play in that. It's sad that those things will be reversing that trajectory. Things that we can prevent with daily changes to our life. Of course, we need some systemic and policy changes as well, but there's always the accountability and responsibility of the individual that should be taking or going into action and doing these things. We're on a good track, at least in some high-income countries. Looks like we might reverse, and lower-income countries, cases of dementia are getting worse. So all risk factors are less education early in life, hypertension, that's high blood pressure, hearing impairment, smoking, obesity, depression, physical inactivity, diabetes, and low social contact. So we have a few of those that are specifically exercise related. And here's what they say overall about exercise. Exercise might reduce weight and diabetes risk, improve cardiovascular function, decrease glutamine, and or enhance hippocampal neurogenesis. So exercise has been shown to cause the advent of neurogenesis, the creation of new neurons in the hippocampus. I can put up some studies there if y'all want that as well. And then they go on to say those with ideal cardiovascular parameters, so non-smoker, body mass index 18.5 to 25 kilograms per meter squared, that's the average normal range, regular physical activity, healthy diet, optimum blood pressure, maximum 120/80 is considered healthy, regular cholesterol, and normal fasting blood glucose. So not having too much sugar going in the blood. So with these ideal parameters, they had a lower 10-year risk of all-cause dementia, vascular dementia, and clinically diagnosed Alzheimer's disease. All these things are modifiable to some extent. Of course, you have a genetic component, but exercise, daily movement, a good diet, these can make huge changes in these. So it's sad that these modifiable, preventable factors are causing an increase in dementia. Okay, so now moving on to the exercise-specific modifiable risk factors, we have starting off with hypertension, and this is during midlife. But again, all these things that they say midlife, late life, it's just only going to help if you have that under control early in life. So with hypertension, they said risk of dementia increase as hypertension persists into later life, greater than 69. Their goal was to maintain a systolic blood pressure. So systolic is the pressure that is exerted on your arterial walls of 130 milligrams of mercury or less. That seems a little high. Elevated blood pressure is considered 120 to 129. So we don't want elevated, we want healthy, normal. So 130 seems high, but again, they're the researchers. So take it how you want. So maintain systolic blood pressure of 130 from around age 40 years and on. And what I found interesting was that antihypertensive, so blood pressure medication, is the only treatment that is known to be effective against dementia, is what they said. I found that interesting. And now for obesity, and this again they said midlife. They said reduce obesity. Obviously, that's going to help everything. And then linked conditions such as diabetes. And they said to sustain that in midlife, just do it all your life. And then increase your physical activity, obviously. A few studies, they said, found a relationship between obesity and late life dementia. And then in another study, they found that a weight loss of just 2 kilograms or more of people with a BMI of 25 or more, so in the overweight category, had a decreased risk of dementia. Just 2 kilograms. A kilogram is 2.2 pounds, to give you some perspective. Just 2 kilograms. Okay, so now physical inactivity. They said this was more important later in life. Again, be moving, working out now. Don't wait to start. So in the HUNT study, that's an acronym, I forget what it stands for, but HUNT study, they had 28,916 participants aged 30 to 60 years, and they found that at least weekly midlife moderate to vigorous physical activity, so breaking into a sweat is what they described it as, was associated with reduced dementia risk over a 25-year period of follow-up, although the confidence intervals were wide. That data is subject to a little more interpretation. So some of the jury is still out on exercise and risk of dementia, and the research on the actual type of exercise, so whether it was resistance training, anaerobic conditioning, aerobic conditioning, that research is pretty scarce. So that's an area where there needs to be more research on. And then with diabetes, again, directly related to exercise, unless it's type 1. So with diabetes, the researchers found the more severe and longer lasting the diabetes was, the greater the correlation between diabetes and dementia. So if it wasn't under control and the longer you had it, the more correlation there would be between the two, and you would probably get dementia. So all these things are related to exercise. So while they said physical activity is not a huge risk factor for dementia, there's hypertension, obesity, and diabetes are risk factors as well. And exercise all relates to those things and can prevent those things. So I think they missed the mark a little bit on the exercise part. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a personal trainer, but I think they missed the mark a little bit on that and didn't emphasize enough, given the correlation between exercise and those 3 risk factors. So we're going over a little 10 minutes, so sorry. But so to conclude, it seems simple, but not really. Just saying exercise more doesn't do the trick. First, there are lots of risk factors involved in dementia. Secondly, getting people to move and exercise, that's not easy. Trust me, I know, I'm a personal trainer. Especially people who are older, As you get older, it gets harder to move, harder to have purposeful exercise. Unless you've been doing it for a long time and that's normal to you, which is not the normal. So in my opinion, there needs to be a paradigm shift in how we think about healthcare and fitness. Overall wellness in general, really. So nutrition, exercise, chronic stress reduction, good relationships in life, with family and friends. All of these things should take greater precedence in everyone's life, I think. But especially as people get older, as that is when you are at risk for developing dementia. And one critique I have is that studies that following adolescence into old age are pretty rare. So they were talking about midlife and late life risk factors, but the studies following from adolescence to very old age, there's not a lot out there, especially looking specifically at dementia. So I would be curious to see what the results would be in prevention of dementia, looking at those risk factors and preventing those early in life, and looking at how that progresses throughout their lifespan. So that's my 2 cents on it. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to have the link in the description of the video. I'm going to be posting more of these. I love looking at research articles. I almost have my bachelor's of science in clinical neuroscience. I'm a nerd, a proud nerd. So if you enjoyed this video, give me a like. If you have any questions, of course, comment and subscribe to my channel, Batman Fitness and Strength. Have a great day. Stay strong.